Fabulous. Right then, so sugar fasting. It's a really interesting topic, and sugar in itself is a really toxic substance, and it's often people don't really understand the damage that we're doing to ourselves with sugar intake. Obviously, if you're a little bit heavier than you'd like to be, or something like that, we all know that sugar contains lots of calories that are nutrient poor, calorie dense and nutrient poor, and is best avoided. But there's lots and lots of other stuff going on that sugar is responsible for. So there is always, it's really good to take some time out, be it Lent or be it a specific month or just a period of time where you try to reduce the amount of refined sugar in your diet. So for me, that's things like cutting out cakes, biscuits, chocolates, sweets, ice cream, anything that I know has blatantly got refined sugar in it. There is hidden sugars, isn't there, in so many foods, from bread to baked beans, that we're not necessarily going to completely avoid. But the overt refined sugars is what I'm talking about here. And letting go of some sugar, letting it out of your diet is so good for your skin. So sugar actually damages the elastin in our skin. And if you have a very high sugar diet, quite often you can find that you look older than you actually are. And it's because the sugar is attacking that elastin in the skin and making our skin more lax and a little bit more saggy. And also, it attacks the collagen in our skin as well. So the collagen is the stuff that makes our cells nice and plump and healthy, and the stuff that small children are just full of, and they've got juicy little cheeks that you want to, grab a hold of, and they look beautiful. And as we get older, we naturally lose collagen. But actually, if we've got a very high sugar intake in our diet, then we are going to lose our collagen much more quickly. And we have 3 types of collagen in our skin. They're really, really complicated names: type 1, type 2, and type 3. So nice and easy to remember. But essentially, type 1 is the weakest form of collagen, and type 3 is the strongest. So ideally, what we're looking for is to have lots of type 3 collagen sitting there in our skin. And the thing about sugar is it converts type 3 to type 1. So it weakens our collagen. So again, that dewy, soft look, that glow that you want from the skin, that it really makes it healthy, we're going to lose that if we've got a lot of sugar going on in our diet. Cutting out sugar is going to help reduce the occurrence of spots and acne. Even hormonal spots will reduce if we reduce the amount of sugar in our diet. And it's going to reduce the occurrence of things like fungal infections. So if you suffer from thrush regularly, or any of those sorts of problems, reducing the sugar in your diet will make a difference to that quite dramatically and quite quickly. So it's really worthwhile doing. Sugar itself is actually a product that causes inflammation in our bodies, and a lot of people don't really realize this either. So when you're feeling maybe a little bit bloated, when I'm working in the NHS, come the end of a long shift, a lot of people walking around and they're feeling dead bloated, and they feel, I'm having a work baby because their tummy's all sticking out and everything. Actually, that can be due to the fact that, we've worked hard, we've done a long shift, we're feeling a bit tired, we might have stocked up on some sweets while we're along the way. We fueled our body with sugar, and it's causing these inflammatory responses. It can cause us to bloat. And if you have any other inflammatory disorders going on in your body, osteoarthritis, or anything else that is an inflammatory disorder, sugar will make it worse. So it's a great idea, again, if we can try and reduce our sugar. And it's free, isn't it? It's actually will save us money, because we'll be spending less money, because we won't be buying all these things that aren't so good for us if we just take time out from sugar for a little while. And obviously, if we're losing The calories that refined sugar brings into our diet, there is possibilities that if you've got a few extra pounds to lose as well, that will have an impact too. So the other thing that sugar does, if I haven't demonized it enough yet, it actually deactivates the antioxidants that work within our skin. So just for clarity, antioxidants, they're proteins, and they protect us from things like ultraviolet light, environmental pollution, blue light, all the things that we know can age us. Those of you who know me well know I'm a massive advocate for some protection factor cream, but there's antioxidants within our skin that help protect us against that as well. And if you've got high sugar content in your diet, then you're actually going to be flicking the switch to switch those antioxidants off. And we don't really want to do that, do we? We want those on and working for us. So keep your antioxidants working, cut down on the sugar. Sugar itself causes a process that's called glycation. And it's just a posh word really for aging, but it increases the lines on our skin. So if you've got some age lines creeping on, a high sugar content diet is going to make that worse. Also, if you're prone to pigmentation, sugar in your diet will promote hyperpigmentation. So if that's something that is worrying you about your skin or it bothers you about your skin, cut down on your sugar intake, and that will help. It does increase sagginess, because we know we've spoken about the collagen and the elastin, and it actually just contributes to the look of poor quality skin overall. So it's not great, is it? Even though it tastes so good. So my top tips for doing a bit of a sugar fast. For me, Lent is a great period of time because it's 6 weeks. We know, don't we, that our skin turns over in about 30 days. So after that 6 weeks, actually, you will feel some real benefits. It's got a start point, it's got an end point, and you know at the end you've got a bit of a treat going on if you like your chocolate Easter eggs and things like that. So set yourself a time scale and set some parameters and rules around that. So for me, like I said, it's cutting out things like biscuits, cakes, sweets, chocolates, anything that is overtly refined sugar, syrups, anything like that. I will go without for those 40 days and 40 nights. But sugar that occurs in fruit, I love my fruit. I like my fruit better than I like my vegetables. I know that there's a lot of sugar in fruit, but I'm not actually going to stop having that because it's the health benefits of the fruit actually are pretty good. And if I'm not having the refined sugar, then there's a balance to be had, isn't there? And also, if you can increase your water intake, that will have a massive benefit too. So we know that water in itself helps flush out your system, and it just hydrates you. And you do need to be drinking a decent amount of water a day. So around about 3 litres, if you can, is great. So also, if you're doing a sugar fast, things that can really help and really actually give you a bit of a boost so far as your skin is concerned and investing in your skin is concerned. And again, this is all stuff that you can really do for free. So increase your intake of B vitamins. So the B vitamins are fantastic. We're talking about thiamine. Now I need to say this properly. Pyridoxine. They're found in a lot of green leafy vegetables, and vitamin B itself is a very calming vitamin. So again, it counteracts the effect of the inflammation that sugar has within our bodies. So it's really calming. Those of you who come to me for skincare know I'm a massive advocate of niacinamide, which is another B vitamin, can't speak anymore, vitamin B3, which has really good calming properties. People who come to me for problems with acne and things like that, that's one of the first things that we set them going with. It calms the skin right down before then we actually sort of start hitting it with some stronger stuff. So increase your intake of B vitamins, and increase your antioxidant intake as well, which is also really easy to do because your antioxidants are also in green leafy vegetables. So you will find them where you find your B vitamins, and berries things like that as well. They all have great antioxidant properties. So not only are you sort of detoxing your skin from the refined sugar, you are building it back up again with all of these lovely nutrients that you can have normally within your diet. It's not costing you any extra. It's just adjusting the way that you are eating slightly. And finally, another really good top tip of things that you can do is really to take notice of your sleep and really try to manage your sleep so that it's of a good quality. Now, this is the subject of a whole different life. Sleep is a massive subject, and I'm actually looking at this with my wellness patients. So there will be much more information coming out about this soon. But we're talking about a good sleep routine and the impact that that can have on your skin. It gives it a chance to rest, it gives it a chance to breathe and rejuvenate. And if you're filling your body full of all the good stuff and reducing some of the bad stuff, then that's really going to sort of turbo boost the effect that will have for you. So does that make sense? I hope that's actually quite useful. Let me just check on the screen to see if we've got anything